Okay, here's another League of Legends game coming your way, this time from the jungle as Shyvana. So, for a couple of the characters, I'm still trying to figure out what is the ideal setup for them in terms of runes. And for Shyvana, I think you want to stick with Press the Attack. It's basically the closest thing you have to Fervor in battle. Now, I believe, unlike Fervor, your Q only does count as one hit for that, so you still have to do 3. Like, I'm trying to think. We'll try to see during the video if, like W, having that burn the enemy and then punching them, and Q to reset counts as 3 hits or just 2. But anyway, this is what I'm running. I'm going to tweak it a little bit because I swap out the Ravenous Hunter for the movement speed one. I was looking for that here and I realized, okay, this one has the attack speed. It's got to be this one that has the movement speed. So, Relentless Hunter, there we go. And then I'm taking Eyeball Collector because the only thing on Shyvana that will proc the armor penetration is her ult. I don't believe her W does it. Same for Hecarim's E. Those should count as dashes in my opinion, but I guess not. But anyway, like usual, I'm going to run Exhaust as my primary summoner and then Smite as secondary because I'm jungle, for crying out loud. As for the team comps, you can see we have Lux mid against Cat. Lux is going to have like little to no influence there. Spoiler. I'm going up against Shin in the jungle. I'm Shyvana. We have Ashe and Soraka bot against Nautilus and Misfortune, and then Quinn top against Scion. So overall, we don't have a very tanky team compared to them. I mean, Shin can get fairly tanky, and then Nautilus, he has his shield and everything, and Scion has tankiness plus the shield, so it's going to be interesting. Now, in terms of build, whenever I play Shyvana, due to the whole lack of CC thing, I need Frozen Mallet second, just so I have a way to slow the enemy down so I can wail on them. Now, one thing that's going to suck here is just due to how tanky Scion is, it really does take me a long time to kill him. For the other ones, it's not nearly as bad. Part of it is I'd say Bloodrazor is really weak against tanks because of how they changed the tank items way back when. And that's why I don't really build it as much as I used to. Like, 80 Nocturne, hands down, is just the best one because he has trouble cutting through tanks unless you're going to get Bloodrazor, Blade the Rune King. Then probably Black Cleaver too, I think. So, we're steering away from that. Now anyway, you'll see Quinn is running Electrocute as her summoner, Lux is running Airy. I think that's the best one for her because she can shield and protect people and stuff. Soraka is running Airy as well. It's basically the same thing for her. She can deal damage with her Q and her E, and I don't know if it works off auto attacks or not. It might. The thing that kind of threw me off here is Ashe is running Electrocute. Overall, like, Ashe is one of those ones I think would be freaking amazing with either lethal tempo or press the attack. Like, the nice thing about tempo is you can just apply more slows. It's going to be much, much harder to get away from you, and then for press the attack, since you're slowing them, you can get your 3 attacks off, and then you just cut loose with your Q. So for the enemy team, you'll see Nautilus is running Aftershock. Nothing real weird there. Misfortune is running Airy, which I saw a lot while I was trying to play. This game was recorded on Thanksgiving, in case you're wondering. Scion is running Grasp of the Undying. That's kind of normal for him. Shin press the attack, and Katarina has Electrocute and Ignite. So if you didn't see, Lux has Barrier. So for this one, I ducked back into the ranked queues just because. Part of it is you'll see that this is really just like a normal game these days. The season has ended, pretty much anything goes. So, based on what I said before, I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to actually get the talisman to not suck, but Shyvana is just so much better with the machete at the moment. You are going to take a beating when you deal with the chickens. I'll show that here. After I take red, of course. We're going to invade, in case you're wondering. Like, if you take the medallion, you might be able to take the chickens. I'm wondering if you can do one of the Resolve Masteries, the one that gives you health on kill, and maybe that will actually, like, serve as a backdoor way to make the machete or the talisman a little bit better. Now, keep in mind, Lux should be leading this so that she can throw out her Q. So right here we want to get his summoners. Quinn gets first blood, which is really, really bad news for Scion. And then keep in mind we did this 4-man. If you look in the bot lane, Soraka's down there. So right here I'm looking at the minimap because Nautilus is right there. I was kind of hoping he'd come forward. Maybe we could pick him off. Basically with the Ash slows, that will make it so he can't run away, and then I just jump on him and possibly kill him. So right here Shin is giving you great advice. Don't do stupid crap when playing the game. Otherwise that happens. So right here I want to look at my stuff. I did get 1 stack of Relentless Hunter from the assist on Shin. So already I have 8 more movement speed than I should. Now one of the things I wanted to talk about before I explain how Shyvana works is regarding the Hunter thing. So right here I'm going to take the beating in case you're wondering. So the reason why I don't run that more often is pretty simple when you think about it. So after a certain point you get diminishing returns from your movement speed. As a result you have a potential to get 40 movement speed on paper from the Relentless Hunter, but what I'm afraid of is it's probably going to be something like 25, basically just like a hey, another pair of boots, because of how the diminishing returns works. Like, I'm going to look to do a Hecarim game in the near future. I'll probably try it there too, just because he gets a little bit more out of it, even though he really can use the healing for his clears from the Ravenous Hunter. And right here I want the Scuttle Crab. So I'll explain how Shyvana works. Your passive gives you free defensive stats. It starts you off with 5 armor and MR, and then it goes up by 5 every time you kill a dragon. Your Q is Twin Bite. Basically your next auto attack counts as 2 auto attacks. The second hit is it's like Lucian passive. That's probably the best way to describe it. So you deal 1 shot that's full damage, and then the second shot is reduced. The amount it's reduced by actually decreases as you rank the move, so it gets stronger. Your W is Burnout. You burn up everything around you. You get a surge of movement speed while it's working, and it lasts longer the more you hit stuff. Now right here I didn't really think I could take the red buff in time, so I'm just going to steal the chickens. And you'll see here that my intuition was kind of right. So I'm smiting that so I at least get the big one, and trying to get in position so I can run away if need be. Pulling these out a little bit so I can potentially kill 1 extra one. And if you notice, there's Shin. So right there I just say, hey, you can have the 2, I don't care.
An enemy has been slain.
Your E is Flame Breath. You throw out a fireball and it will mark the enemy. Then whenever you hit the enemy while marked, it will cause them to take bonus % HP damage. I could have gotten boots there, but I think I'm fine. I was asked about soloing the dragon, so I'm going to look into doing that. It's just not going to go as planned. Spoiler.
An ally has been slain.
And then finally, your ult is Dragon's Descent. You turn into a dragon, you fly, you knock stuff aside, you can't be interrupted while flying. And then that causes all your moves to change when you're in dragon form. Your Q becomes AoE, your W is bigger, and your E leaves a lingering burn on the ground. Now you know how Shyvana works. But anyway, right there I'm going to be going for Bloodrazor like usual, and I'm going to be taking Red Smite so I can duel. You'll see that come in handy for when I fight Katarina in the jungle 1v1. Right there, Ashe was caught out, Soraka kills Nautilus. I have to exhaust MF here just to make sure that she doesn't get away. Take her down. So Katarina is going to try to hit me. Soraka is providing heals because Katarina is ignoring her, as most people tend to do around Soraka. And as a result, I take her down, and keep in mind that's 2 more stacks of my Relentless Hunter, so I now have 24 bonus movement speed. It's like I'm wearing boots without actually having them. I'm 1 point below. Now, the overcharge event is in effect here, so my behavior is going to be altered somewhat. I want to get the Scuttle Crabs because you have to kill 10 of these. Not necessarily you, but the team does in order to unlock one of the missions. So that's why I'm there. But anyway, now that I have that, I want to hit this to see if Shin is nearby, possibly spook him into thinking I'm invading. Now keep in mind I do not have ult, I do not have flash. If someone comes here, I have to fight them to the death. And what's worse is I don't have exhaust. So right here you'll see the dragon is doing a number on me. I don't know what the Infernal's bonus effect is exactly. So as a result, to not die, I have to smite early. Basically I need that surge of healing, and you'll see that I limp away with 50 health. Now, because smite is on cooldown, I really can't do anything from here, so I need to recall. On the plus side, this will allow me to buy some items. One of your missions does involve buying those, so the more I get, the better off I am. So right there, grabbing boots. And then one thing I try to emphasize about the early jungle items these days, due to the whole stupid Kindle thing where the talisman is meant for tanky jungles, by getting the skirmishers, that makes it so that you don't need the bonus HP in order to trigger it. So, like, if you're... the best example I can think of is probably Hecarim. You want to start with the machete on him because he needs the mana regen just due to how he clears, but you have to get the bonus HP from somewhere else. So I'm thinking about running the Overgrowth Mastery to see if that will do enough to trigger that. It'll be like 1 bonus health, but that should be enough for Kindle to proc. This is just theory crafting on my part. I'm still trying to see. If you're going to start on the blue side, I guess you could possibly just start with the machete and try to beat it down the old-fashioned way. Like, I really don't understand why Riot felt the need to turn the talisman into a tank jungle item exclusively for the most part. So I'm going to fight Cat in a second. We're going to go top, and then we're going to fight over by the red buff. So right here, I suspect this is warded. I came here to deter her so that she couldn't do anything. In the end, it didn't matter since Quinn still died. And now I know she's in that brush. So right there, I red smite her. I ult to interrupt her ult. She shunpos over to the chicken camp. Yeah. So right here we can see that the red buff is not up. Shin is making a beeline straight to me if you look at him flickering in and out on the minimap. I don't want to fight him when I don't have my ult and I'm at half health. It's going to be extremely difficult, so I'm just piecing out. Now, if Lux weren't really bad, I could give her the blue buff, but she's not going to do anything to take advantage of it. She seriously will just like sit mid while Katarina roams around the map. So right there I'm warning her, Shin is on the top side looking for me. Could go bad if she gets caught in my place. And right there I'm grabbing the components for the Jorum's Fist, which will become the Frozen Mallet.
They should run now.
So sadly the game's about half over. So right there's the exhaust, but she didn't ult. So right there I exhausted her, so no matter what she does, she's going down. Now Nautilus is the new stack from that kill, because he died last time Soraka killed him. So as a result, I now have my 4th stack, and by extension that means 32 movement speed on paper. So anyway, right here we're going to go ahead and get some deep vision. Help myself to a little bit of enemy jungle farm. Yeah, if you remember that counter jungling is a lot more effective than it used to be. Now I don't really want to deal with the wolf camp for 2 reasons. The first is that once I take that, there's really nothing left for me. The mid tower is still standing, so I can't just cross that way. I have to come back out the long way. And then all my stuff down here is up, so I get a little bit better return here, rather than just trying to take the wolves from Shin. So that basically got my attention. Sadly, not fast enough for me to save Ashe. So Misfortune goes down. And then I don't have anything to cut into her damage. So you can see she used Death Lotus, and I can't interrupt that in any way, shape, or form. The only plus here is I did get her flash. And this one I say, Lux, this is the third time she's roamed, and you are still not in the tower range. What in the hell is going on? Seriously, at this point, Lux is effectively AFK for us. She will get a little bit better when we start approaching the end of the game, but it's still really, really bad that Katarina can roam like that without getting really punished. If you saw the last Lux game I did, those are the types of situations where, yes, I'd ult the wave just to get it out faster. So right there, Shin goes down. I don't get a piece of it, but it really doesn't matter because I already got his bounty hunter stack from the invade at the beginning of the game. And if you notice, the dragon is up, so I want to take this to add a little bit of damage to my attacks. And then there's going to be a fight here. This is pretty obvious, so I want to be prepared when it comes. So this is a beauty. So Misfortune's getting in position to ult the dragon. Thing is, since you have to wait for each wave to damage it, it's a very, very easy smite. And then since Nautilus doesn't have a way out, since he used his Q to get in, all I have to do is just punch him down. So that's the second Infernal. As a result, I now have 10 bonus armor and MR from that. And if I can find Scion, I can get my final stack of Bounty Hunter, and then I'll be seeing at, on paper, 40 bonus movement speed. Hey Scion, where are you going, buddy? So right there he flashed, and I don't care. So I provide a pathway through the tower for my team. And since I was afraid Quinn might not get out of there, I decided, you know what, I'll turn and fight him. With the E mark on him, the burnout, the red buff, and my Q, I should be able to just burn him down before he can really do a number on anyone else. So I think that's like the 5th Scuttle Crab I've taken. I haven't really been keeping track. The thing is, I should be able to get the Frozen Mallet. I basically just have to pay the recipe cost from here, so I want to make sure that I can get that, and then something else on this bag. I can either look into Tier 2 boots, I can look into my next item. I have options. So Cat dies in the bot lane, or no, that was the top lane she died in, and then the tower went down. So right here I'm going for Swifties because they don't have a specific type of damage they have to worry about. Shin and Misfortune, well, really Shin's the only one who's going to be reliably auto-attacking me. Misfortune's going for a caster type build. Scion, he's like a tanky caster type, and then Cat's a caster herself. Thing is, the damage types are just all over the place, and they don't have a lot of CC. They have Nautilus, the Shin knockup, which is like less than a second, and then potentially the Scion stun and knockup from his ult. So right here I want the Herald, it's just Nautilus is picking a fight he shouldn't be fighting. So right here I wanted to see if Scion was still in the area, basically figure out if it's safe or not to go ahead and take the Herald. And you're going to see an extremely effective Herald this game, so just a heads up. Now since my team is falling back a bit, we see Shin on the map, I'm thinking, okay, this is safe to take. And in case you're wondering, even if you Q the eye, that still only counts as one hit for it, so just use your Q whenever it's available. So right here's your demonstration. You get the bonus hit and then just the secondary hit. So I'm going to grab this. Right here I was hoping to catch someone. Unfortunately this is warded, you'll see them loop around and try to catch us, and that's not a good idea by them. So right there, Soraka did mess up her silence. She could have interrupted the Scion knockup by casting that on him. Right here, I'm just wailing on him. And then, for some reason, Nautilus decides to stay between the two of us. Yeah, I don't know what he's thinking. So right here, Shin wisely turns around because I did not use a single summoner in that. Well, I used Smite, but I still have Exhaust and another charge of Smite. So he goes down. I don't get a piece of that, but it doesn't really matter because we're going to rip their base open right here. So the Herald didn't make it in time. As a result, it didn't take damage. That's actually a good thing, believe it or not. This time, however, suckers getting chunked. So I really don't care about Misfortune's little poke. So right here we're going to loop around to the bot lane. If you notice, Ashe has been pushing there for quite some time now. So keep in mind I do not have Smite now, but I still do have Exhaust. Right there I thought he was going to keep going, so I exhausted him. In the end, it's a bit of a waste, but I'm just going to go ahead and get the tower afterwards. So, right there goes down. First wave of supers has arrived from mid. And then due to how early it is, you have to remember those inhibitors actually do take a little while to cut through. I don't know what he was thinking going on, but... Shin goes down, Nautilus goes down, Cat goes down, San, wait for it, goes down. Sadly, I couldn't save Soraka, but I'm beating on him here and applying the Frozen Mallet so he actually can't chase anyone. His best course of action was to actually focus me. Sadly, Misfortune does get away. We do get a Nexus Tower, and since they're coming up, I have to get out. Luckily, Home Guards are not in effect. Yes, it is still that early in the game. And as a result, since I know they're not going to come flying out at me, I want to counter jungle on my way out. So right there I get the blue buff, which in turn gives me CDR. That way I get to cast my moves a little bit more. And then as for Scuttle, it has a little trouble trying to get away from me when I'm pounding it with a Frozen Mallet. You have to remember I do have the bonus movement speed from Relentless Hunter, plus my Swifties. I can definitely cover some ground. You can see I almost have 500 movement speed when using my W. And that's Dragon number 3. No need to smite it because they had no way to take it from us. We have vision on them, they didn't have like a way to sneak it or anything, so yeah. And as for what I get next. Death Lotus is several hits in one, so the Adaptive Helm offers the best protection from it. Actually, bullet time is the same way, in case you're wondering, so by getting the Adaptive Helm, they don't hurt as bad. Sadly, for bullet time, that is physical damage, so the MR component on the Adaptive Helm will not actually, like, cut into its damage. But it will for Death Lotus, so... Really sucks to be Katarina at the moment. And seriously, she's the only one I'm kind of worried about. Now, there's no way for me to reach Ashe. She went the wrong way. So right there I take red. We bait in the Cat to a certain degree, but she can Shunpo over the wall because San gave her vision of the golems. She just chose not to dodge. So right there we got the San ult. I'm good with that. And then we have to go for the only lane that still has towers in it. In case you're wondering why we're not ending it, we have to basically teamfight in their base to do so because the death timers are still that short. So right here I'm just trying to slow Nautilus so we can kill him. And here you get to see me actually pretty much solo silent. Yes, this is how long it takes to kill tanks with the Bloodrazor these days. So right there we just have to run out his passive. Soraka's going to heal me as I run. And I'm ready for round 2. What about you guys? So keep in mind their Nexus is completely exposed. They don't have the damage to take out the supers, so we basically just have to clear out the minions and that's game over. So right here I'm hoping Cat goes in. Meanwhile, Ashe goes ahead and clears out the top lane. You can see it still takes us time to kill those. And right here I decide to kill MF because she didn't respect the distance. Shin goes down and I just want to end this. Kind of feel bad for them. Still have to dance on their base so they know who the boss is though. So I'm going to give the honor over to Soraka. If you didn't see the game chat, she asked for it. This was back when I fought Cat for the first time. Got the level up capsule, was that? I didn't see. And then we completed the one mission for tokens. So I get the a key fragment. La-di-da. S rank, highest on my team in terms of rank. You can see for damage I was number 2 because Quinn just kind of ran away with it. And that's kind of all there is to see here, folks. I'm out of here. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.